Hey babe, you wanna help me make a video?
Hey, let's go.
Crap, I forgot my keys.
What are we doing today?
We are going to Dardanelle Rock, and we are going to look at the 10 reasons why not to buy a Jeep Wrangler JK. What is up, guys? My name is Zach. Today I got a special video planned for you guys. It is about the 10 reasons why you should not get a Jeep Wrangler JK like this one. I wish that someone would have told me about these whenever I was looking for my first Jeep, and I thought it'd be productive, so here we go. Okay guys, so we're here at Dardanelle Rock. I thought this would be a good place to film 10 reasons why not to get a Jeep Wrangler JK. And starting out here inside the Jeep, because reason number 1 is the roof. The thing about the roof, and I have the hard top, is that right here, the seals wear out. You'll get water coming all over the front of your dashboard. And I know what some of you guys are thinking, but Zach, I don't have the hard top, I have a soft top roof. How does that apply to me? Well, I have a lot of friends that have a soft top roof, or who actually have both and they change them out. The benefits to having a hard top, it's more quiet on the interstate, and a lot of people say that it actually keeps out dust and grime and stuff whenever you're going down a dirt road. I have a lot of people that have the soft top. They tell me that whenever they're going down a dirt road, it has a lot of gaps and a lot of airways. Dust gets inside there, and it's impossible to keep the inside of their dash clean because they just have so much dust circulating through their soft top. Okay, reason number 2. They are super slow. If you were ever wanting to get your teenage son a vehicle, I would recommend you get them a Jeep Wrangler, because they are not going to race anyone, or at least they're not going to win, because they are the slowest vehicle. The startup time on them is kind of ridiculous. Sometimes whenever you're going and you need that extra boost to cut out into traffic, it's just not there. It can be problematic. But they make up for it in their torque. They have a lot of power, and this is obviously for off-roading reasons. But the on-street, just super slow vehicles. Now, gas mileage. Gas mileage is our third one. And like every single off-road vehicle, the gas mileage is gonna be bad. It just comes with it. But the thing that frustrates me the most about the Jeep Wrangler, and especially the Unlimited, is that it is not what they advertise. If you look online, it will say that your Jeep Wrangler should get somewhere between 15 to 17 miles to the gallon, and that is not the case. My Jeep probably gets about 14 to 13 miles to the gallon, and I have the stock leveling. The lift on mine is pretty much factory. I have 18-inch tires, so it's a little bit bigger of a tire, but it's not a ridiculously large tire, and my gas mileage is quite a bit lower than what the factory says it should be. Now, my 4th point, Jeeps are expensive, and I don't mean just coming off the lot buying a new Jeep. That in itself is expensive. A Jeep Wrangler Unlimited, like this one right here, 2017, this is 2012, but 2017 is going to cost you around $40,000. Now, whenever you compare that with other 2017 models, which I would put in the same category of SUV off-roadish type vehicles, such as the 4Runner, the FJ Cruiser, or the Nissan Xterra, those are a lot cheaper, and you actually have a lot more perks with those. And I think the main benefit to having the Jeep is the off-roading, but if you plan on doing a mix of both, those might be a viable option for you. Jeep also, the saying is, just empty every pocket with the Jeep. if you take this thing off-roading, you're going to break stuff. It just happens. It happened to me. I've probably put $900 into the front end of my Jeep trying to repair it. And that just comes with it. So on top of the $40,000 you pay for the upfront price of the vehicle, you're going to have to pay quite a bit maintaining it. Now my fifth point is something that I think that everybody can agree on, every Jeep owner, especially the JK model, is that Jeeps come with a lot of plastic on them. As you can see, my first video was over how to refurbish your worn out plastic. It's just something that's inevitable. It's going to get sun damage, it's going to fade, happens over time. But Jeeps have so much plastic on them, throughout time it can look like they're a lot older than what they are just because of how much their plastic fades. Now, you can see here, my side fender flares are plastic, my front bumper, my rear bumper is plastic, my mirrors, plastic, the whole entire dashboard, plastic, center console, once again, plastic, and it's just kind of hard to keep that clean. Now, oftentimes the first thing that someone will do whenever they buy a Jeep is take it straight off the lot and change out all the plastics on it. They'll get metal fender flares, or they'll get a metal front bumper, or they'll get a metal rear bumper, something like that. It makes your Jeep will look a whole lot cleaner, it's a lot more durable, and better for pulling, you name it. My question is, at $40K off the lot, you would think that Jeep would be able to install that stuff automatically. They know that their buying target market wants that, but they don't go for it. They give you the base plastic. Number 6 on our list, the Jeep is kind of noisy. And this isn't a problem that really bothers me, but a lot of people have said that it's a problem. Whenever you're going down the interstate, even with my hard top, it can be kind of noisy, and I'm pretty sure it's a lot worse if you have a soft top. Number 7, a lot of people say that the Jeep is very uncomfortable, and I'm pretty sure whenever they're thinking about this, they're comparing it to like some cars and stuff, but I'm going to go back to comparing it to other SUVs that do off-roading, and compared to the Tahoe, the Xterra, and the 4Runner, I would say that it's pretty comparable. It's not too terribly uncomfortable. Alright, number 8. Number 8 is a big one to me because I have a dual axle horse trailer that is stainless steel, and a lot of times I'm having to tow it places, and it's just hard to do with the Jeep. Your towing capacity, I think that the factory says that towing capacity is like 3,500 pounds for a Jeep, which is alright, but like whenever you compare it to something like FJ Cruiser, or if you compare it to, once again, like a 4Runner, they have 5,000 pound towing capacity, and they have the 4-liter V6, whereas the Jeep has a 3.6 liter V6.
Okay.
Number 9. Number 9 is the biggest one. Of all the problems of the Jeep, I would say this definitely has to be the worst. Number 9 is the death wobble.
Baby wobble, baby wobble, yeah. Wobble, baby wobble, baby wobble, baby wobble, yeah. Wobble, baby wobble, baby wobble, baby wobble, yeah.
If nothing else stops you from buying a Jeep Wrangler, this should. It's the Jeep death wobble. It's probably the worst thing that you could ever experience inside of an off-road vehicle. It could be caused by a number of things, and basically what happens is you're driving down the road somewhere between 30 to 50 miles per hour, and your Jeep just starts vibrating ridiculously bad, and you think the whole thing's going to fall apart, and pretty much you just have to stop the vehicle and keep going. It could be a number of things in your front end, and I know that a lot of Jeeps have had this problem. It's been talked about in the forums several times, but the Jeep death wobble definitely has to be the worst problem that could ever happen to a Jeep. Finally, number 10 is the everyday driver problem. This is something I deal with every single day. This is my everyday driver, my Jeep, and I really like it. Would not trade the Jeep for anything. Don't regret a dime I've spent on it. But I will say, for the everyday driver, Jeep is not the car to go with. It gets terrible gas mileage. factory, and if you keep it like it is base, then you can probably get 15 miles to the gallon maybe, but more than likely you're going to want to put on some bigger tires, which is going to give you even worse gas mileage. More than likely you're going to have to change out your plastic fairing, your plastic bumper, plastic everything, so you're going to have to change all that stuff out. And more than likely you're going to want it to raise a little bit, so by the time you get done doing all that, your gas mileage goes way down. I have a lot of friends that say that they get 7 or 8 miles to the gallon. Just not a very good everyday driver. That combined with the fear that you don't want to go off-roading because maybe you would mess up something and that could cause your Jeep to death wobble, or maybe you're going to break a tie rod or whatever. You're afraid to go off-roading with it. It costs so much, you just don't want to take the chance. For me, I think that I would have much rather had a little car for everyday driver, and then an old Jeep, maybe like a Jeep CJ7 or XJ, that you can just go out there and play, not worry about if it gets messed up or anything like that. The combination between those two would have probably been the preferable thing if I was wanting to get a Jeep. And I think that as an everyday driver, you shouldn't think about getting a Jeep JK. If I could have done it again, I'd probably got like a CJ7, something like that. But anyway, that's what we have for you today. Thank you.
Oh! Lily, you wanna go for the ride? Oh! Oh!